Wow, that's how many miles Foggy's travelled now. 171,800 miles, which I think is absolutely amazing. I thought I'd better let you into a bit of a secret. When I first had the idea of Foggy, I thought the only way to create the character is to imagine Foggy as a 4-year-old little boy. And if you ask a 4-year-old little boy, how far do you want to travel? They're going to say 1,000,000 miles. Actually, that's not possible. He would have to go to Australia and back every day of the campaign to reach that target. So I would be happy with 250,000 miles. Just don't tell Foggy. And where the £10,000 came from, I just plucked that out of thin air. I didn't even think about it. I just thought 1,000,000 miles, £10,000 was a catchy target. If I actually raised £10,000, I think my head would explode. I would be so happy. But yeah, I think we're up to 2,700-ish now, which is still absolutely brilliant, and I'm really, really happy with that. So yeah, so nobody asked me, like, did you really think that you'd make 1,000,000 miles? No, not even from day one. So anytime you see that I've put a silly little comment on, oh, Foggy loves flying or Foggy loves animals, I think all 4-year-old little boys love animals. And I know that's very stereotypical. I don't have children, but I'm just imagining. But yeah, so that's why it allows me to be really silly, because I just think of Foggy as being a small child. That's come in handy with the children's books. I've written 2 so far. I've got myself an illustrator, but that's taking its time because we've both got our own life pressures going on at the moment. But that is definitely still going ahead. It's just going slowly. Yes, there's 3 months left. I was thinking today, actually, quite a few things haven't come off. So there was the children's drawing competition, that didn't happen. Writing Foggy a song, that hasn't happened. But the second I said I'm not going to do that anymore, somebody came forward and said, oh, well, I've half written a song. So that may or may not happen. What's the other things that have happened? Oh, some people said they were going to do physical challenges. That hasn't happened. But it's all a massive learning curve. I've never done social media fundraising before, so every day is a learning curve. I learn something new, which I'm absolutely loving, don't get me wrong, but at the same time it can be very frustrating because I instantly get on Twitter and Facebook and I'm like, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and then I feel a little bit silly when it doesn't. But hey, it's a learning curve, so that's fine. Yeah, so like I said, Foggy's currently in Vietnam. I know absolutely nothing about Vietnam. The only time I've ever heard of it is wars and things. But Tang is actually from Vietnam, so hopefully we'll get to see the non-touristy, lovely side. I realised the other day that I've now got so many teddies. Everybody that's had Foggy as a Foggy sitter thing has bought Foggy a present. I've had the fan from Spain. I've had, my mum brought back a little kangaroo, and I've got a koala bear, but that's in my room. All sorts of little presents and things, and I've had signed photos from celebrities who didn't quite get the point because I asked for, can I send Foggy to you to have your photo taken with him? Their agent decided to send me a signed photo of the actor to me. That's kind of missing the point. But yeah, so some days I beat myself up in that I haven't achieved everything that I wanted to. But if you don't ask, you don't get. So I ask, you guys tell me whether you want to participate or not, and then we move on, we find something else. So all is good. Yes, so Foggy's got Tenerife, Philippines, Dublin, France, oh, and Stockholm, which would be fab. So yeah, so there's one more long haul and then he's back and blah blah blah. Also, for people out there that are worried about my health, and there are a number of you out there because you do email me, I do have bad days, but I'm still managing to work full time, so it's not as bad as it seems. I am coming home and going to bed. I'm going to log this in a minute. I just threw it. Yeah, it's not as bad as it could be because I'm pacing and I'm trying. different ways of dealing with it. Lots of patch cuddles, obviously. I also, just going off on a tangent, a few people have said I don't think anybody else would have been able to make this campaign, and I think there are a couple of reasons why. One, it was inspired by my own relationship with my own dog. Any of the new followers that don't know the story, I've got Emmy, I've got a dog called Patch. Foggy looks identical to Patch. That's where the idea came from. So that's where I got the idea from, and now Foggy is Patch's best friend, etc, etc. I'm really glad that you've all I like the fact that you like the photos of Patch as much as you like the photos of Foggy, which surprised me. I thought it might have been a bit, oh, she's doing pictures of him for. But anyway, so if you want to say hello to Patch, he's down here. Come here. Come here, sweetie. Oh, you big fat lump. Who's that? You can say hello. No. Yeah, so he's alive and kicking. He's getting old now though, so that's a bit heartbreaking. But it's his dinner time, so I've got to go now. I hope you're all happy and healthy, or as healthy as you can be. I have specified that any money raised is going for research. Now, the ME Association does a lot more than just research. They do support networks, provide news and support to all sorts of things. But I have specified it's purely for research because I want to know why I've got this horrible illness and why it makes me feel like rubbish on most days. Believe it or not, I've had brain fog all afternoon, which is probably why this is waffling on a bit now, because I just don't know how to end it. Yeah, so just keep supporting. If you haven't donated already, can you please donate? As fun as it is purely for one reason and one reason only, to raise funds and awareness of ME. Because I've had far too many conversations with people comparing it to MS. Because the letters are similar, they think it's the same. And they say, well, you're not in a wheelchair and you haven't got restricted movement, you're in work. And it's like, yes, because it's a completely different illness. Ours is invisible. You can't see how absolutely rubbish I feel on a day-to-day basis. And I'm one of the lucky ones, because there are many, many poorly people out there that can't even get out of bed. They can't cope to have the light on, any kind of stimulation whatsoever, sight, smell, sound, all makes them incredibly poorly. So please donate. See if we can get up to half the money. Just £5,000 would be absolutely awesome. But yes, so I'm going now. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.